always, it feels like a living room, and I lean back and I forget, oh right, there are hundreds of people looking at us, and I need to pay attention.
It's good.
So welcome to Montreal. How long have you been in town?
Thank you. Since, what are we, Saturday? Yesterday? Friday? I'm quite jet-lagged at the moment. I came from England, so...
I was going to ask if you were...
Could be any day, but it's a good day.
So you always go back to England between seasons when you're not shooting?
Yeah, so I've been home for 2 months. So pardon my accent, I'm trying to not speak as broad as where I'm from, because there's no one that understands that apart from my mom.
Oh, now I think we all want to hear a little bit.
Yeah, but I go back to LA after this.
And when you go back to England, do you miss the LA weather?
No.
No?
Well, no, I don't really.
There kind of isn't such a thing as LA weather. It's kind of just LA.
Yeah, it's just desert. Yeah. I mean, it is nice. You can plan a barbecue and it's not going to rain. But, right? Oh, he loved that. Yeah. But, I love the seasons.
I can totally relate to that.
Yeah.
Especially, we had the weather this morning, didn't we?
Oh my gosh, that was so cool. I find the rain so romantic. I brought my boyfriend, I was like, babe, come on, we gotta get outside and kiss. He didn't want to, so.
I can see rain being romantic, but that was some really loud thunder. You have an interesting definition of romance.
That's like, yeah, but thunder? Or maybe it's just me, I don't know. That feels romantic to me.
So please don't be shy. Feel free to line up at the microphones because it's going to be mostly your turn to ask questions. But while you line up, I had the pleasure of doing this with Ming-Na Wen a few years ago, last year I think in Ottawa.
Yeah.
And she said something that amazed me. You guys get the scripts for an episode of S.H.I.E.L.D. 2 days before you start shooting it?
Yeah, if that. Sometimes it's the day before.
Wow.
Sometimes it's the day off. Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, we get a lot of takes, you know. We're not doing theatre. We get it wrong a lot. It just depends. I mean, sometimes you won't be on the first day, so you learn your lines in the order that you have to film them. So, you know, sometimes we'll start filming and have no idea where the scene comes because we've only read it quickly once. And then you watch it and you go, oh my gosh, that makes so much more sense now. You see it in order. But yeah, I mean, some days are hard, I guess, but...
Are there days you see the episode all in order and think, oh, if I'd known that, I would have played it differently?
Every day, yeah. I'll be driving home and go, oh, that's why I was saying that, and da-da-da, yeah. I mean, I'm not looking like I'm very good at my job right now, but yeah, sometimes.
Well, clearly, a few people love the show, so you're doing a fine job. So I see we have some guests who want to ask some questions. We're going to bounce back and forth between the microphones, and we'll start over on this side.
Hello. As you may know, there's a big discrepancy between the amount of men and women who get jobs in science. And I know there's a big effort in trying to encourage young girls in high school and middle school to be interested in science and pursue science as a profession. So my question is, what inspiration did you have for the character of Simmons, and how do you feel about inspiring so many young girls to pursue science as a profession?
Oh my gosh, so eloquent. That was like, whoa, I had to really remember to listen. Such a great question. I mean, I feel very honored, really, because to get to be that kind of a role model, or at least portray such a role model. I was very privileged in the way that my mom is a doctor, my grandma was a doctor. I have 3 aunties that are doctors, so it's sort of a family business, and my mom is, she wanted me to be a doctor so badly, but now I play one on TV, she's kind of okay with it now. She fully believes I'm still going to train to be a doctor, because, you know, I could just do that on the weekends, I don't know. So I always had very strong female scientific role models, I guess. So it wasn't until I started playing Jemma and people would say things like that to me that I kind of realized that not everybody is as lucky as that to get those role models. And I did sciences all the way up to, do you call it college or university?
We have both, actually.
Okay.
You go to college and then university here.
Oh my gosh, you're fancy.
We're all very, very smart.
Seriously? God. Well, I guess university/college, I did all my exams so that I could go and do medicine, but I never really did drama instead. So I've always loved science, basically. But to be a role model it feels like a positive role model. I mean, I don't know what my next gig will be. I might just throw it all away and take all my clothes off. So for now, it feels good.
All right, thank you.
Hi, again. Yes, just when you won the part of to play Simmons, did you prepare yourself in any way by reading the old S.H.I.E.L.D. comics, or did you just take the role as it gave it to you?
Well, we didn't really know that when we were auditioning for it. We didn't really know what it was, and we got like the lines for the auditions were all written especially for the audition. It wasn't really much to do with what the show was going to be. So I mean, I kind of looked into Marvel and that kind of thing, but it wasn't, we had very little information. It was just an untitled project that we were auditioning for. And then you walk in the room and Joss Whedon's there and you go, oh, okay, this is just, like, now I'm nervous. So no, but then when the first day we were kind of all brought into the office as a cast, they kind of just planted a big pile of comic books in front of each of us, and that was our homework.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you for being here. I was wondering, well, as was previously mentioned, you guys get the scripts on fairly short notice. I was wondering, how did you react when starting season 3? I think they started putting more emphasis on your character, but with the whole, you were pretty much a main focus of, the whole storyline with the teleportation to the other planet, and then you got the train with May and Daisy. And how did you react to your character getting so much more importance in the show?
I loved it. I mean, I think, we don't. It's amazing to be a part of such a wonderful show and a great family, and I mean, I never read a script kind of looking at how many pages I'm on. I mean, depending, like later in the season we read them to see how many we're not on, as to how much sleep we're going to get. But yeah, it's always nice to be given really good storylines and kind of a meaty things to do. So yeah, I feel very lucky. I feel like they've really given my character quite a lot of development, and I think at the start we were maybe Fitzsimmons was sort of the comedic relief, and then we became sort of a bit more integral to the storylines, and obviously that's so nice. As an actor, you just love to act, so the more they give you, the better, really.
Did you expect Simmons to get so much more importance?
No, I mean, I can't tell you the first year, and now I'm over it now, we've been 4 years, I feel like I'm kind of through it, but I mean, every second I would think somebody would tap me on the shoulder and say, oh no, you're not meant to be here, like, you're fired. So I think, no, I mean, every day was like a bonus. Every script that we got and my name was at the cast list, I was like, brilliant, one more, good. You never know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Michael. First and foremost, you're amazing as Jemma Simmons in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, and also that 4,000 whatever episode where your character gets, and it's like hard to figure out what the number it is.
4,722, and I only know that because somebody's told me today what the number was. So don't worry.
Thank you for that. But my question is, what is like shooting that episode?
It was amazing. I felt very lucky to be able to do it. They told me at the start of each season, before we start filming, our bosses bring us in and kind of tell us some things that are going to happen, and they're so secretive that they never tell you anything really. But that season they said, you know, we're trying to get this episode done where it's just going to be you, and we can't tell you where you are, but it might just be you there, but we can't tell you if there's going to be someone else, but there might be, that there probably weren't. And I was thinking, there's no way this is going to happen, because it has to clear through so many levels of management. And then all of a sudden, the week before, they were saying it was going to happen, and I was like, could I get the script any earlier than the day before for this one? Is there a way? And they did. They gave it to me the week before, so that was amazing. And I mean, filming it was the best and hardest experience. I mean, I was in every day, you guys. That's a lot for me. That's like further down in the cast list. But it was brilliant. I mean, we shot on location a lot, kind of up north in California in the desert, and so it was a lot of kind of, most things were just one take, and it was kind of guerrilla style shooting, so there was no rigs or anything. It was just a cameraman holding it on his shoulder and me, and obviously the crew around, but we kind of had to find the locations as we went. So all the exterior stuff was kind of brutal but amazing, and then obviously interior was all set, so that was nice and air conditioned.
Thank you so much.
So when I was younger, there was a lot of magic in TV and movies, and it hasn't died, but it's certainly changed. So my question is, how has being in TV and movies changed the way that you watch it?
It's quite hard to watch TV now and movies and things, because I always think, you know, if there's like someone swimming in the sea or surfing, or it's meant to be this kind of beautiful romantic scene, I can just think of the actor must be freezing, and I bet they've been in the water for 7 hours, and their toes and they're crinkly, and like, I mean, things like that are harder, but then I think it also makes me appreciate more, you know, if you see someone reacting incredibly to a dinosaur, you know, I know that they're opposite a blue wall similar to that, and they have to, you know, give this amazing performance. So I think it makes me appreciate some stuff more, but also like it's harder to buy into the fantasy sometimes, because I'm just thinking about logistics.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, so I had a chance to meet Ming in Ottawa, and then I drove 2 hours to get here to be able to see you this year instead. And I asked her the same question, and now it's your turn. Which character from the Marvel Universe you wish to see, and where do you want Jemma to be in the Marvel Universe?
When I meet the person, or just where I want her to be?
Like, which character do you want cameo in the show, and where do you want Jemma, like, which movie in Avengers?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I'd like her to meet Black Widow. Yes. I'd like her to be in the Black Widow movie. Like, we need a Black Widow. And I would like them to, I know this wasn't part of your question, but this is what I thought you were asking, is like what the scenario, like where would they be? And I'd like it to be like quite an awkward place for them to meet. Like I'd like it to be in like the restrooms or the toilets or something, you know? Because I meet a surprising number of people in public restrooms. I never get recognized unless I'm in a public restroom. Yeah, washing hands, and it's like, oh, here we go, right.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi. I was wondering, what's your best memory from your first day on set?
Oh God, I mean, Joss Whedon directed the pilot, and the man can dance. So he would be giving you, and obviously like, I mean, I was a little shaking leaf the whole time. I'm sure that I was completely white and just like drained of all blood or like humor or improvisation or anything. And so he would be giving you in direction, and then he would just, unexplained, just start dancing. And then he'd stop and he'd finish the direction. And I mean, you know, you're just taking it all in at that point. but it was such a brilliant way of just kind of, I don't know, distracting you from your nerves, I guess. So that's, I mean, he's also a brilliant director, but he's very smart, and he kind of is so brilliant with people and just kind of gets it. So yeah, I think his dancing is something I, carry close to my heart.
Thank you. Hi, can you explain a bit more what happened last season at the ending? Because me and my boyfriend, we disagree on it.
Really?
Yeah.
You disagree?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Is everybody
Exactly.
caught up? Is anyone behind?
I tried. That means that's bad, right? Doesn't mean anything else, does it? So, no, is that bad?
What? Second is fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Oh, your guys' reaction worried me then. It's like, oh my god, did I just say something pornographic or something?
I think they were reacting to me because she wants an explanation at the end of last season.
At the end of the season.
And I asked if anyone was behind.
Do you know, I mean, I have, honestly, I have absolutely no idea. I don't know. They don't tell us anything. I don't know. I mean, it looks, if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. It looks like he's in space on some sort of, I mean, to me, I read that as like a jail ship. Like he's in prison. But I honestly have absolutely no idea, so I don't know. That's just my take on it. He looks like he's working somewhere, though. And I don't know if he wants to be there. He's not look like he's posing.
Or can you just say what it's like a day on the set?
Oh, it's amazing. It's just like being in the playground. It's really fun, and that's why you don't see many scenes with us all in them, because they take so long, because we never get anything done. Because it's like we're like poking each other and distracting each other and playing tricks, and yeah, so it's just so fun. It's being an actor, the hardest bit is getting the job when you're auditioning, and the rejections when you get the job. It's a dream every day.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Who was the most distracting cast member?
Oh no, you see, everybody has their own methods of distraction. Ming is, I mean, I love her, but she is very clumsy. So she'll just randomly fall over over nothing. She'll be sitting on the sofa and she'd just fall off. Ian is like a prankster. Chloe's kind of a prankster. I mean, everybody has their things. Yeah, we're not the best behaved all the time.
I just want to try and have you react to a little something. I don't know if it's going to go to the mic. I just want to try and make you listen to this.
You're dinner, bitch! You're dinner, bitch!
Rings a bell?
I didn't want to say that. I didn't. It wasn't in the script, and then because I mean, I always change little lines for what, like my dad and grandma and things, because it's always been a sticker, and I was like, I can't say that. I can't, like my dad's watching this, and I don't, because I also just don't like that word, like I don't like it as an insult. Obviously it was like a, you know, I had to get over it. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll just do one take.
For the record, we thought it was funny though.
Good, thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
At the end of the first season, when they go to the Providence base, Candy asks them questions to get their lanyards. So I wanted to ask you one of those questions. If you got stuck on a deserted island with only one box, what would be in that box?
I feel like this is going to reveal a lot about my inner workings. I don't know. I mean, wouldn't you have like a flare, or you know, a phone, or I'd want something to escape, you know? I mean, yes, it'd be nice to have a picture of my parents, but it's not going to be useful. I want something useful.
Well, my question is, what was your favorite episode when you're filming in the show?
My favorite episode?
More like your favorite moment when you were filming.
Favorite moment? I don't know. There was a moment, I can't remember what season it is, I think it was 2, when Ward had obviously turned evil, and then he came back to help us on a mission, and we were all standing around oh my gosh, what's it called? The command center, the holographic table or something. Maybe it wasn't the holographic one. It was a table. And when we were basically just all being mean to him, but it was the first time that the 6 of us, the 6 original cast, had been in the same room for nearly a season. And it was just so nice. We were just... It was such a lovely moment because obviously we started this show as a 6 together, and a lot of us hadn't done very many things before, and we kind of just had this baptism of fire together, and there was quite a lot of pressure on the show at the start, and it really felt like we were such a team. And then obviously it was Hydra, and so then it was, I mean, brilliant storyline, but it just meant that I hardly ever got to work with Brett again. So being able to be in a scene with him and be mean to him, you know, there was like a winning combo.
Thank you very much.
I hadn't actually realized that so many of you had not acted very much before. It's one of your first projects for a lot of you. Is that the relationship, I guess, where Ming-Na and Clark Gregg are sort of the parents on the team? I guess that translates with the cast as well, a little bit.
Totally, yeah. And I think, you know, that Clark and Ming have just done so much, and to kind of survive in this industry is no mean feat. And that was something that was so wonderful. And I think why we got on so well as a cast and get on so well is that, you know, there were 2 very strong role models for us to look up to and learn from, and they were so open about, you know, giving us advice, and it's just advice on sort of how you juggle a personal life with working so much, and you know, the logistics of that. I'm so grateful to both of them because they have sort of held our hand throughout.
Hi, Dickville. Who is the biggest joker on the set?
Ian. Because he's mean. He has no mercy. Yeah, so I'm kind of scared. It started off as Chloe and me versus Brett and Ian. And I mean, things got scary quite quickly. And I am so jumpy that I just couldn't. We each have trailers as dressing rooms, and I got to the point where I was like having anxiety attacks going into my trailer because I was like, well, what? Somebody's gonna jump out, or somebody's gonna be here, and and then I think we just had too much work, so the pranks kind of got put to the side. But Ian, I would say, yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, what was the funniest moment on set?
Oh God. I mean, there's been so many. Usually, corpsing is what you call it when you can't stop laughing and the cameras are rolling, and obviously as actors we all find it so funny, and everybody else is just kind of over it once we've messed up a few takes in a row. But you end up laughing at stuff that is just not funny. So, I mean, I could regale you with all the times that we haven't been able to stop laughing, but you'd be like, what? I mean, the funniest is when you do pranks and they're on camera. Like one time we put really spicy stuff in Brett's sandwich, and it was like the funnest day on set. I mean, you turn into an 8-year-old. So that was funny. And, you know, you got to hand it to him. He didn't react, not once. It was a true professional. So annoying.
Allô?
Hello, bonjour.
Bonjour. Je parle français, je parle pas anglais, OK? J'ai une question. Je voudrais savoir si l'agent du S.H.I.E.L.D. va apparaître à Avengers Infinity War.
He wants to know if the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., not just you, but all of them or any of them, will appear in the new Avengers movie. which sounds like something you're legally prevented from answering.
Yeah, they have drones watching us at all times. Weaponized drones, probably. I don't know. I mean, I don't think so, but I don't know. Every time we have our hiatus, the break between our seasons, I'm always kind of like weighing up Clark if he looks a bit more tanned. Like, have you been to Hawaii or anything? Because they film a lot in Hawaii. And I was convinced he was in the last Avengers movie, absolutely convinced, to the point where I was near him at the premiere and I was like, and I was like adamant till the last scene, and obviously he was not in it. And to me, he just gave such cryptic answers about what he'd done on the break. It's like, oh, I just hung out at home. You hung out at home the whole time? You didn't go away? No, really, I didn't go away. He's telling me the truth. So, I don't know. I'll do my best to find out and be a detective, but I'm not very good at it. I mean, I have not got the call yet. You know, there's still hope.
So, vous avez compris ou
No.
No, okay.
Understand any of it?
No, but I'm going to translate very briefly.
Alright, this is going to be fun.
Donc, en effet, elle ne sache pas exactement, probablement pas, mais on ne sait jamais. Elle avait la suspicion que peut-être Clark Gregg était dedans, mais on n'a toujours pas de confirmation là-dessus. Donc, faut attendre, puis on va voir.
OK. Merci.
Merci. Is that what I said?
I could have repeated everything if you want, but then that's 2 fewer people who get to ask a question. I'm sure.
Would have been fun for me to watch, though.
So how do I go?
Actually, the same as French. Yeah.
I don't do it as well as you do.
Hi. Do you have any advice or tips for any other aspiring young actors for like learning lines or acting or anything at all, really?
Yeah, I think the first thing would be make sure there's nothing else that you want to do, because it can be really hard and just kind of soul-destroying at times. And I think just keep going, I think, would be the thing. It's an endurance game, and you know, at some point your time will come, and you know, you'll have deserved it. And in terms of learning lines, I think everybody has different styles of learning. I'm audible, and so I have to repeat my lines over and over again, and I get used to the way it sounds and the pattern of the words. But I know people that write them down a bunch of times. I know people that just don't learn them, and they seem to get on fine. But yeah, I repeat them 5 times for line learning.
Hi. So when you get your lines, and it's like a couple of days beforehand and you're filming out a sequence, do you ever find yourself and the cast members trying to speculate what's happening and like just trying to figure things out, like put the web together?
Oh yeah, all the time. And I tell you what, we never get it right. Because often we'll be reading the script on set between takes, and we'll all be at different parts of the script. And so you'll be reading it and none of us are talking, we're just like so into the script, and someone will go, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm like, no, what page are you on? Oh god, blah, blah, blah. So we have to wait till we get to the end of the script and then we'll speculate. But yeah, I mean, there was many, at the end of season 2 when I got sucked into The Rock, I mean, we had so many, I thought maybe I was just in The Rock, which would have actually, in hindsight, that would have been really boring. But yeah, we always try, but the writers are much smarter than we are, so they tend to like have better outcomes.
Thank you very much.
Hello. So have you ever had a chance to read the 616 version of yourself, the comic book version?
Do you know what? I haven't. What's she like?
She's actually a Deathlock, like in season 1.
She's a Deathlock? What do you mean with the eye?
Yeah, she got cellular degeneration that was caused by a sword, and she had to be saved by Mockingbird and Deadlock. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. That's what I was wondering.
What a combo. I love that. They're like my two favorite people.
And then, second quick question: how do you find the sense, or I guess the inspiration for some of those visceral scenes where you're like last season where you saw Fitz shoot someone and you I was almost in tears because you were just broken by that moment. Where do you get the inspiration for those types of moments?
I think I'm emotionally damaged. Always have been. I don't know really. I've always had my emotions very, very close to the surface. We'll be watching, do you have the celebrity dancing reality show here? So I'll be watching that with my boyfriend, and he'll look over to me and I'll be in floods of tears at a dance. And he's like, oh my God. So I'm very, I cry at everything basically. But I'm kind of sadly obsessed with Fitz, and I get so emotional thinking about him and thinking about Fitzsimmons and their relationship, and I think I'm just so invested in it at this point that it honestly doesn't take much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sweet Miss Elizabeth. From what I understand, you're a closely knit cast. When you've heard that Grant Ward was switching sides, was there a shift on set?
Yes. I was mad with him. I knew that obviously it was not Brett's fault who plays Ward. But honestly, I just couldn't help it. And obviously now we're over it. But it was awful because he knew it. They told him a couple of days before they told us. And sometimes if something is really secretive, they give it us on red pages. Something about printers not being able to print on red paper, or I don't really know. Anyway, it's very secretive if it's on red paper, and so they handed us these red paper, the pages of the changed script, because the script that we got didn't have that reveal at the end. So they handed it us at the last second. But they told him a couple of days before, so I remember saying to Chloe, what is wrong with Brett? I don't know, he's kind of down, or I don't know if we've done something. But they'd obviously told him, and he was freaking out that we would obviously be so mad. And we were mad. But yeah, it kind of shifted, not really, obviously we're still friends, but it shifted very really in a way that we didn't get to work with him very much. I little bits and pieces, but apart from this season, actually, season 4, I got to work with him more, but yeah, it was a big shift.
Seeing as I'm all decked out, if I swear allegiance to the Army of S.H.I.E.L.D., any chance I could get a selfie?
Sure. You have more time at the autograph booth than right now, downstairs, right?
Yeah, but look at his outfit. We have to just do that. What's strange is that you got that helmet on. What does this mean? It's not a cult, is it? Are we married now?
You need to brush up on your wrestling.
She really doesn't.
Oh, I do. Oh, you're wrestling. Oh, I'm too sweet. I don't know about that. Thank you, I think.
Yeah, so I'd like to know, with the apparition of Inhumans and all the alien tech, did you ever wish that they gave your character any ability of some sort, and what kind of abilities?
On paper, yes, because when you read the scripts and you see all the cool things that the Inhumans can do, it's amazing. But then when you watch them film it, they don't have the special effects there, so it's embarrassing for everybody involved. And you see, Luke Mitchell was the best, like his like electrocuting powers. That was the best one because you had to like almost gyrate at the same time. So yes and no. But if I had, I don't know what I would. I've always wanted just to be able to teleport.
Once in a rock wasn't enough?
No, because you know how we filmed that, I had to be, obviously like I get like sucked in on my front, kind of like on my stomach, and I had to fall onto a skateboard that had a rope that somebody was pulling behind it, and I mean I was like on my knees, and then the skateboard was here, so I just had to like belly flop down. I mean, and then somebody was at the back like, it was so embarrassing, and I remember saying like, guys, come on, you can't do this to me, like, please promise me this is gonna look cool, how is this? And they were like, you need to scrape at the ground more as you're being pulled back. I was sure it was a practical joke, because it was at the end of the season, and anyway, they did make it look cool, but filming those things is, it's not good for the ego.
Thank you.
Hiya. As a fellow Brit, I've got a question.
Where are you from?
I'm from Manchester.
Oh, Sheffield. Hiya. We're neighbours.
I was shocked that you said you missed the weather in the UK. And I just wanted to ask, when you're living over here in North America, what other things do you miss about home?
Oh, so many things. I'm very close to my family, and so I miss them, and I have little nieces and nephews, and they're kind of everything to me, and so it's more the people, I think, and my friends and everything. But then a lot of the food. I mean, listen, we don't have a great reputation for food, but you just like what you like, don't you? So I think a lot of the food and the countryside, and I mean LA is a very it's different. It's a different place to live, and it has the most amazing scenery. I guess it's just different than the one I'm used to. But then I'm sure if I lived in England, I would want to be over here. So I guess, does that answer your question? Do you miss stuff from home?
Oh yeah. I love Canada, but it's not the same, is it?
No. But I mean, Manchester has chips with cheese and gravy, right? And this one, like, it's called poutine over here. Like, it's a really
nice 1 year ago, Brett Dalton was brought a poutine on stage and chewed his way through several questions.
Really? Well, I mean, I got this guy.
Thank you.
Thank you. We only have a couple minutes left, so I don't know if we're going to have a chance to get to everybody, but we'll try.
I'll be quick.
Hi. My question is basically because Agent Carter was cancelled.
Boo!
I know. And there was some talk.
Thanks, you guys.
There was some talk with fans online about maybe having Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. going in the past, bringing back Peggy Carter. Is that something you would like to see happen?
Of course, I was ready for that scene. I was ready for to tell me that I was related to her. We're both British and we have brown hair. So yes,
thank you.
That would be fantastic, actually. Jemma Simmons is a descendant of Peggy Carter. I would love that.
Hi again. My question is, which cast member has the messiest trailer?
Chloe Bennett.
No hesitation.
It's amazing though. It has like throws everywhere and cushions, and it's like a wonder cave. She's got everything in there. Mine is so sterile because I think they're going to fire me every day. So I'm like walking with loads of cushions,
Thank you so much.
Rapid fire questions.
you mentioned earlier that you weren't sure what you were auditioning for. Which character other than Simmons would you have liked to be casted for?
Agent May. Because, I mean, that first season, she had very few lines to learn.
Very stoic.
So last season, all the people that were sent to the framework unwillingly had one regret removed to better accept their circumstances. So what regret do you think would have been removed from Jemma if she had been forced into the framework?
That's such a good question. I don't know, you know. I think, well, she did have scoliosis as a child, which sort of just got dropped into one of the episodes. And I was thinking, oh, brilliant, that was not in my backstory, but fine, now I have scoliosis. So maybe something to do with that. Maybe she regrets kind of, I don't know, not being around enough for her friends or something. I don't know. I mean, to me, she's perfect. So, you know, where do you say
Important question. Do you like pie? What kind of pie and why?
Perhaps the most important question that has ever been asked at ComicCon.
Yes.
Okay, what kind?
Well, you see, we like shepherd's pie. Is that still a pie here? Or cottage pie? I think I'd go savoury, to be honest with you. And what was the last one? Why?
Yes.
Why not?